process of you doing talks and you working with the team, right? You also wrote Leg Aside, for instance, in the flight from Joburg to Cape Town, and you wrote Here Be Dragons in 2 weeks. Prior to that, you were writing blog posts and columns across the board in various publications. What do you do to maintain that creative space? And I'm using creativity loosely here, but what do you do to maintain that creative space over a sustained period when you have all these moving parts that still happen as part of life?
Idea traps. So Don Packett, ex-business partner of Missing Link, amazing guy, and Don started doing stand-up comedy years ago. And what he did is, I noticed something interesting, to the point we had a business called Human Rights, which was a notebook company. And Don, he obviously had the big Human Rights writable that we had, but he always carried with him a small little notebook like a Moleskine or a Field Notes in his back pocket. Yeah. And the reason was that as soon as he put a notebook in his pocket, every morning he reminded himself that he was a comedian looking for material. And just the act of having a notebook in your pocket meant that we'd be sitting at a restaurant somewhere and the waiter would come by and something funny would happen. And we'd all laugh about it. The waiter would walk away, but then Don would take out his notebook and he would start writing. And I saw this as an idea trap. It was a place to catch ideas that normally would come into your brain. You'd think about them for a second and they would go away. So I have a whole bunch of idea traps.